Welcome to Umbraco TV. This is Tim, and you are watching the Document Types chapter. In this first episode, we'll begin with what is a document type. Document types are the most important concept in Umbraco. It may also be the concept that confuses and frustrates new users the most. This episode and the entire document type chapter is about explaining document types in details. Here's the big idea. Before you add content to your site, you need a place to store it. Let's take a look at a fresh Umbraco installation. If I try to create content, I need to provide a name and select a type. But in this clean installation, there are no document types defined, so I'm not able to create any content yet. So you need to define what data to store before you can enter content. Everything you do with your site will build upon the document types you create. A document type is the data definition for your content. Notice that the data definition depends on your content. Your site is unique. There is no other site in the world that is gonna be quite like it. Therefore, your document types will be unique to match your content. And a document type defines the data but isn't the actual data itself. That's the content. If you ever thought of keeping track of your growing movie collection, you can imagine the first question you are going to ask. What do you want to keep track of? Oh, I'd like to keep track of the title and the genre and when it was released, who's the director, did it receive any awards, what language is it in? Well, you can see it can be quite complex. But once you knew what data to keep track of, you would create the database table or the spreadsheet with those fields. We'll go through the same process when creating document types in Umbraco. The first step is to create a document type that defines what data you want to store, so what you want to keep track of. Then, once you have the document type, you can create as much content as you like, once you have a place to store it in. What you keep track of depends on your site-specific needs. Of course, your site will have more than one document type, just like you have different kinds of pages on your site, like the home page, which is different from a staff detail page, which is different from a contact page. So you'll have a number of document types to define the different data represented in your content. The different kinds of pages need different document types to store their unique data. So let's build on the movie collection analogy for a moment. What if you also want to keep track of your music collection? Because there is a difference in the kind of data we want to store, there will be a difference in the document types. So we would create separate document types, one for movies, one for music. And then we have the flexibility in each of them to keep track of whatever is unique about them. As you use Umbraco, you'll soon feel confident about when to create a new document type. But here are a few tips to get you started. If you think you need a new document type, you probably do. You wouldn't think to yourself, I wonder if I need a new document type for this, if you have an existing document type that already meets your needs. So for instance, if you're adding another movie or an MP3 to your collection, you're all set. You've got a document type for movies and music already. But what if you wanted to add a book? Well, neither the movie nor the music document type is right to define the data that is unique to a book. You want to create a unique book document type. Here's a second tip. When the site designer shows you a template or a bunch of Photoshop files of the new site that you're going to build, there's a good chance that there'll be a new document type for every one of those page designs the designer shows you. Why? The designer doesn't show you every page in the site, just the pages that require a different presentation. So for instance, all product pages look the same, they contain the same bits of information, and a product page is different from a blog post. So the designer will show you what a product page looks like and what a blog post looks like. It doesn't always work exactly this way, but it's a very good rule of thumb when you are getting started. So how many document types are you likely to have? Well, it really depends on your site. You might build a site with only 2 document types, or hundreds, or more. You'll need as many document types as your site needs. It really depends on what you are building. Fortunately, with Umbraco, you can have an unlimited amount of document types. Let's review this episode. First, you can't enter content in Umbraco until there is a place to put it, and that's the document type. A document type is the data definition for your content. Different kinds of content will have different data and therefore different document types. Because Umbraco isn't a system you just theme or skin, you can mold and fashion Umbraco to fit your needs precisely, and it all starts with document types. Document types is one of the reasons why Umbraco is so flexible and powerful. Now that you've come to understand what a document type is, it's time to go hands-on in the remaining episodes.